Hi, and welcome to the Fresh Ideas TV video podcast. This one's a little bit different. A couple of weeks ago I was asked to go into BBC Hereford and Worcester and talk once again about why Worcester was the third worst city in the country for congestion and why it was also the third worst for teenage accidents and deaths. It's a little bit tricky when you're on radio sometimes because obviously you have the radio presenters that have to always argue the juxtaposition to whatever we want to say. So when we say that the majority of teenagers are safe and they come out with statistics one after another, it's always a little bit tricky to get the point across. So I came up with an idea. A couple of weeks ago I emailed the breakfast show hosts of BBC Hereford and Worcester, Howard Bentham and Toni McDonald, and they were very gracious accepting my challenge. I took them out on a mock driving test just to remind them how difficult a driving test really is, and in fact they both took a theory test. Now the really nice thing is that they both welcomed the opportunity, but they were also really up for the challenge because they do remember how difficult it was. Here's how they got on.
I'm trying to do all the things that I remember my instructor used to pull me up about like 20 odd years ago. Such as not using my mirrors enough and trying to keep up with the traffic.
Ooh. Can't reverse that, huh? Strange mail.
It's almost like watching the amount of... If you move your feet, that'll really unnerve me.
What helps is to do a commentary as you're driving along. And we went out and did some stuff with the cops and how they do sort of hazard perception.
Yes.
But whereas we're not looking anywhere near as far along the road as they are. But, they're looking miles up the road when things are happening.
I'd like you to take the next road on the left, please, Mark Lansdowne Road.
Okay. Oh, it's a title road, this.
Aside from the theory test.
Well, lots of little hazards and obstacles and things to look out for.
Okay then Howard, what I'd like you to do is pull up in a safe, convenient and legal place on the left hand side, please.
Okay. Just climb this hill a little bit further, find somewhere safe. It's going to be a bit tight if I pull in here. It might just get a bit further along the road. I should remember failing my first test on that, so I should find somewhere super safe. Somebody's driveway.
Okay, we're going to struggle here, so we'll carry on following the road ahead.
All right.
I'd like you to pull us over in a safe, legal and convenient place on the left hand side, please. Okay. Thanks very much for that. When you're ready, move off.
Okie dokie. I was just on a hill the other day thinking, I bet you a hill start will come up somewhere.
There's the hill start.
Okay, didn't stall. Don't laugh. Goodness knows what you might be picking up. I'm trying my best, honest.
They're all out to get me. There's people reversing out in front of me. There's everything. Foreign lorries doing their thing. Infamy! Infamy!
I'd like to follow the road ahead, and then at the second roundabout, third exit right.
Let's put this poor person behind me, and I've got 2 learners in front of me here. There.
Clutch down.
It is.
All the way. That's it.
Oh, now I've done it. Now I've done it. There we are. That's better.
I couldn't have picked that any better if I tried.
You couldn't have. You devil.
More people pulling out in front of me just to make it sporting. They're all Toni McDonald's friends, I think, we'll notice.
You know this is tough. You don't know where you're going. You're in your own. You're not in your own car. Somebody else is watching your every move.
I'd like to pull over on the left-hand side in a safe, convenient and legal. I'd like to pull up just behind that black van for me on the left-hand side.
Curb avoidance. And one of Toni McDonald's friends hunting me down in the estate.
Thank you very much. What I'd like you to now do is I'd like you to pull past this junction here on the left-hand side, pulling up reasonably close to the curb on the opposite side, and reverse me into the side road safely and under full control.
I shall have a go. Well, there was somebody back round there. Are they going to be, as a learner, just a bit...
Well spotted.
Yes.
Okay. What I'd like you to do then is I'd like you to pull up a little bit further up the road.
Okay.
Just pull up like you normally would when you park. Okay, well done, Howard. You actually spotted as we pulled past the junction on the left-hand side that we couldn't do the manoeuvre that I was requiring you to do. So instead, what I would like you to do is we've pulled up here safely at the side of the road. I would like you to turn the car around using forward and reverse gears safely and under full control. When you're ready, please proceed.
The old 3.10.
Yes, please.
There you go then. Full lock on. Avoiding the curb and this fella's caravan. Where's reverse? I think that's it. Not too much of a camber in the road here, so don't need to worry too much about rolling around.
And please carry on.
Toni.
Thank you. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to turn the vehicle round using
Okay.
forward and reverse gears
Okay.
safely and under full control. When you're ready.
Right. Okay.
You might have known this is the turn in the road.
Yes. Well, I actually thought that you might actually get me to reverse round the corner, but
I'm not that
okay.
cruel.
Not that cruel, he says.
Wait until Howard's in the car.
Oh, I bet you he'll do that particular last hill start better than I did, though. But never mind. Move on. This is a popular three-point turn road.
It's got various maneuvers on this one.
Number 2. Let's move it back. There we go. This must be popular. There's another learner coming around the corner. Okay. And then 3. Think I made it.
Just a couple of other little habits that I know I'm really concentrating on handling the steering wheel. Assume it's straight on, Mark.
Yes, please.
handling the steering wheel appropriately and not sort of letting it spin through your hands or doing it one-handed or whatever. So again, that's a habit I'm telling myself not to do, so I can feel myself breaking a normal habit.
So you said that it was feeling quite slow, it was feeling quite deliberate. What do you mean by that?
Well, I've barely touched 30 miles an hour, and obviously that's the limit. I would probably drive a little bit quicker than this, if I'm being honest. In terms of sort of what's happening around me, no, it's just like a normal drive, but just
End of the road left.
the process is sort of making sure that you can see I'm looking in my mirrors. If you like, it's a bit of a game that goes on between the instructor and the pupil, possibly.
Okay then, Howard, what I'd like to do is introduce the independent drive section of the driving test. What I'd like you to do is, in a moment, I'd like to move off, and I would like you to follow the road signs for the M5 for me, please. So, when you're ready.
Right, this is a new thing to me. I don't know what an independent drive is, other than I'm driving on my own, I guess. So let's head to the M5. Because you got me to stop in an odd place. That's what it was.
That's the thing, but
Yeah.
that then checks your knowledge of the highway
Sure.
code as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. So obviously I was okay to stop along there, but
Yeah.
it wouldn't have been a place I'd have ever chosen to stop the car.
Mm.
So
Okay, now I'd like you to follow the road signs for Kidderminster.
okay. Bit of traffic up ahead. Slow moving vehicles on the inside lane. I know there's a junction or a roundabout coming up at the bottom of this, depending on where we're going here. Where do we need to go?
Just keep following the road ahead.
Okay. And we'll overtake the slow moving vehicles. There's somebody approaching behind me, but it's safe enough distance for me to pull out or within the speed limit. I think they're going to come herring past any second now.
At the roundabout, I'd like you to follow the road signs for Worcester, please. I'll give you some help here. It's the second exit on the left, as the road signs are unclear because of the trees. I'd like you to follow the road signs for Worcester now, please. I'll help you out because they are hidden. It's a second exit.
Really need to cut those trees. That's terrible.
I'm going to say budget cuts, aren't I? And just pull us over on the left in a safe, convenient place.
Many spots at all, so
Move off when you're ready.
Coming into a 30 mile an hour zone now. We're coming into the built up area of Worcester. Nice to see people up ahead observing that as well.
I'd like you to pull over in a safe, legal and convenient place on the left-hand side, please, Howard.
Okay.
And that's the end of your independent drive section. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tell me honestly, would you normally be this far back from the car ahead? Honestly?
probably be about this far.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Car behind you is not.
No, well, that's their problem. My problem is what's in front, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's simple, isn't it? Deal with one insurance company, not two.
Yeah. And it's just what happens to other people that can be little reminders about what you're supposed to be doing, because somebody
Yeah.
was in a kind of accident like that the other day.
Yeah.
You know, it was off of a stupid manoeuvre that somebody else had pulled off, but it starts to make you think, leave that.
Leave that gap. Okay then, Howard, thank you very much. That's the end of the driving test. How do you think that went?
I thought it went reasonably well. There were bits where I'm thinking, oh, I've forgotten to do that. Trying to remember to do things necessary in an order as well, handbrake, mirror signal, all the stuff you've been taught, because you don't necessarily do it in that order in real life. You've developed your own ways, styles and means. I certainly didn't do it by the book. I'm probably not expecting to pass, but what I would say is that I felt safe. Hopefully you felt safe. And it was all perfectly above board and legal, which was good as well. Yeah, but it does make you concentrate. But I think there's a level. It's like a lot of things. You concentrate sometimes too hard, you actually become less safe. I think you do need to sometimes just open your eyes and take in the big picture of what you're doing, and rely on your basic sort of mechanical skills that you're doing, driving the car, and actually really concentrate on the hazard perception. That's the important thing in my mind, and it does make you look just that little bit in more focus at what's going on around you.
Okay, Tony, that's the end of the test. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.
Instant reaction.
The longest half hour of my life, it felt like. Really.
Why? Why did it feel so long?
Because you are under that extra pressure to actually try and look as if you have some semblance of being able to drive properly with an instructor in the car, because somebody is watching your every move. So I think it ends up being slightly unnatural. You try and do the things saying, I know I'm supposed to do this, 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 this and this. But it's when you throw in questions, would you really be this far back from this car if it was your own car? Would you really have done that? But that also takes me back to, I passed when I was 18. I didn't drive for about 10 years. And I decided I wanted to get back into it again. It was having money, time and confidence all at the same time to get back into it. And I went with a big name driving school. And I went along happily thinking I was driving. And at the end of the lesson, the instructor said, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Which then knocked my confidence again. And it ended up being a while before I decided, I've got to do it. I've got to start driving again. So then when you are under that extra bit of scrutiny, you start to think those questions are going to come back. Why have you done that? Why have you done that? Why have you done that? And you think, oh, crikey, what have I picked up and not realised? But at this point in time, I'm glad that I've got you back here in one piece. I didn't kill you. I didn't kill me. I didn't hit any of the other hazards on the road.
So do you think it would have been do you think it would have been a pass or a fail?
Oh, you know, going into this, I'm thinking I probably would fail on a couple of things.
Okay, what do you think you would have failed on?
There was a second steep hill start that I bodged a bit, actually. Oh gosh, I don't know what else I would have failed on. You tell me, because sometimes you just into it that you forget. And I think at some point I snapped back in thinking, oh, have I got too relaxed that I didn't use my mirrors enough there again? Because sometimes after a while you get so into a journey that you are just driving forward, and probably not as aware of what else is going on around you. So, you know, to be honest, I think there was a point there where that may have lapsed, and I thought, what have I checked recently and gone back to it again? I don't know. You tell me what I would have failed on.
I will be telling you live on air.
Oh no! Oh, the shame!
So, you've seen the mock test. Obviously, it's slight entertainment purposes. I'm not a driving examiner, but let's be perfectly honest, I kind of do have a fair idea what they're looking for. And yes, I appreciate that the fact that perhaps some of the technical skills that we teach our learner drivers are perhaps masked and shadowed by the experience that these guys have now got. But, fair play to them, they wanted me to announce who had passed or who had failed live on air.
Here on BBC Hereford and Worcester. Now, hopefully you've been enjoying our driving tests today. I can't say... I sort of enjoyed doing it. I like a little bit of self-analysis, I must say. Mark Ford's with us, our friendly driving instructor from Worcester. How are you, sir?
I'm very well. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. You heard... Well, you saw it firsthand. In fact, and filmed it as well.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Can't believe you've been sitting watching films of us drive.
It was fun.
Entertaining for you, yes.
Watching two consummate professionals all sweat, perspire, and look very stressed. It was very good.
Yeah, well, there was a bit of sweating going on.
You get very uptight every time I just saw you mark something on your clipboard. I thought, oh no, what is that?
Did you edit out that really bad swear word I did as well?
Yes.
Excellent,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah, I did.
Before that goes live.
We say I didn't hear it, so no, I don't.
No, no one likes making mistakes, especially me. But that is why they put rubbers on the end of pencils. So we need to reveal the results then, Mark. First, this is Toni out on the road.
Suddenly being taken back to when I was 18 and did this for real. And suddenly I'm very scared again, okay.
Okay then, Toni, what I'd like to do now is just to introduce the independent drive section of the
What's
driving
that?
test.
I didn't kill you. I didn't kill me. Going into this, I'm thinking I probably would fail on a couple of things.
I will be telling you live on air.
Oh, the shame!
Hopefully no shame. Mark, without revealing all, a quick
Can't
assessment.
even look at you.
You cope with stress in a very different way to Howard. In fact, actually, my foot twitched at one point, and you actually had a go at me for even looking like I was going for the dual control at one point. I wasn't, but you actually went, if you move your feet again, that's it. She had a right go at me.
So what I have to deal with every morning. This is a quick précis of what I got up to. Your 3.10.
Yes, please.
Just a couple of other little habits that I know I'm really concentrating on handling the steering wheel appropriately. I can feel myself breaking a normal habit. I don't know what an independent drive is other than I'm driving on my own, I guess. So let's head to the M5.
How do you think that went?
I certainly didn't do it by the book. I'm probably not expecting to pass. I felt safe. Hopefully you felt safe. It was all perfectly above board and legal. And a quick potted view.
Well, you thought everybody was out to get you. Remember, we came around the ridge, and that Ford KA decided it was going to reverse at us in a one-way street, which you got slightly spooked by, and then you thought all Tony's mates were out to get you because cars were pulling out on you all over the place.
They were absolutely everywhere.
Nothing to do with me.
All disguised as learners as well, including that when I was about to do the reverse round the corner. Gonna get you. Very strange, very strange. So I think we should reveal the results of the driving test. Firstly, Toni McDonald.
Tony, you would have passed the theory, but you would have failed the practical driving test.
No!
You would have failed with 15 minor faults.
Right.
Which
what's
is the
limit?
maximum.
Right.
Okay. But 5 serious faults.
5 serious faults. What were those faults?
Oh, I'll do the individual one because strangely, there is a common factor. Tony, at one point you were using your indicator so much it looked like there was a disco going on in the back of the car. If anything was stationary, you indicated round it. There was a car behind us. Poor woman hadn't got a Scooby-Doo what you were doing. She thought you were turning right for sort of like 3 miles because you kept putting the indicator on every time we were in.
If you're moving out past the obstacle, indicate that
Only
that's
if
what
it
you're
benefits someone and not confuses them.
doing.
Well, there we go,
okay.
Tony. It's a thumbs down for you, my darling.
No.
So then it now falls to yours truly.
No.
Mark Ford, how did I do?
Howard, you would have passed the theory but failed the practical test.
It's not just me, I feel so much better.
You would have got 12 minor faults and 3 serious faults.
Serious? That's bad then.
Yeah, okay. There's a bit of a common thing between the pair
what
of
is
you, okay? You both would have failed on your turn in the road manoeuvre.
Really?
Okay? Because when you watch the video back, neither of you at any point looked through the back windows in any shape or form. And there was a lovely old lady stood in the driveway of her house just watching you. And at any point, she could have just opened the gate and walked straight out. And neither of you
I'm going to hunt that
would
granny
have
down.
noticed.
I'm
Okay?
going to hunt her down.
And here's the other common thing. You both would have failed for your move-offs, because obviously I had to pull you over several times to do different things,
yeah,
all right?
yeah.
Again, neither of you know there's a back window, and neither of you know there are blind spots either. And there were cars coming. You need to check those blind spots. You need to check. But the individual one for you, which you didn't see, obviously, as we came up to the mini roundabout going down towards the Checkers, you just stopped. And there was no need to. The cars opposite looked at you as if to say, why are you stopping? So they stopped. The bloke behind you, trust me, he slammed his brakes on. There wasn't many millimetres between my back bumper and his front bumper.
Right. Okay.
You were being too cautious.
Mark, thank you very much for this. That's always been said about me. We're going to have to knock it on the head now. Thank you very much for taking us out. This is going to be up on... we'll get it up on our Facebook. You filmed it all, yeah?
Yeah, it'll be out on Monday. Yeah, we'll get that sorted on Monday.
All right, we'll do that, whatever we need to do as well. Mark, I dare say we'll speak again. Thank you very much for doing that.
And there you have it. Really enjoyed the experience. They really enjoyed the experience. In fact, the boss of BBC Hereford and Worcester enjoyed their experience more than they did, which probably says a lot more about him. But it goes to show you that if you actually do connect with your local community and you connect with your local media, us driving instructors, we really can get some good, positive, strong messages out about road safety. Take care. See you again.